Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you the Zhiyun Cinepeer CX100, a compact 100 watt LED video light that's making waves on the internet for its portability and power. Whether you're a vlogger, a filmmaker, or a photographer, this light could be the compact solution you've been looking for. Full disclosure, I was sent this unit by Zhiyun to review, but all opinions will be my own, I promise. Stick around as I break down its design, its outputs, the versatility of the light, and my real-world experience using it. So let's get into it. So when I received this in the mail, I was immediately taken back by the size of the unit. So it's not even open yet, and look at the size of this box. It's about the size of a brick. It's definitely not the weight of a brick, but it is so small and light already compared to some of the other lights that I've received. Let's go ahead and open it. This is the first time I'm opening it, so I don't really know what's inside. So here we have really nice compact padded packaging on the inside over here, and we have the instruction booklet immediately right up front here. I like the way that they've put it right up front. They didn't just throw it in the bottom of the box, they place it on top. So here we have the instructions for the light, as well as a VIP and warranty card, which is pretty cool. And it's got a QR code over there. It'll probably take you to some useful information on their website. That's quite nice. I'll use that in a second over here. So let's unbox the unit itself. Holy! Look at that. That is small. Is that the size of it? Wow, that is tiny. And that is the reflector. That is even tinier. That is the smallest reflector I have seen so far. And a charging cable, nice and compact. And a do not eat dehumidifier. Wow. So let's put the box away. I can't believe that's the size of the unit. Are you serious? Let's open this up. Okay. Wow. That is tiny. Have a look at that. Wow. Okay, so let's open up the reflector, which you would need. And there's something attached to it. Huh. So there's a diffusion dome attached to it. Oh, it can pop out. Wait, so you can, that's reversed. So you pull it out. It's very, very soft silicone. Oh wow, look at that. And that just pops on the front here. That is so interesting. I have to get it to fit on properly. Maybe pull it back a little bit more. Oh, there's a little groove that it fits inside over there. Oh, that's pretty nice. That's going to diffuse the light quite nicely. I'm always looking at the modifiers before I'm looking at the light itself, because this is going to control how the light actually enters your scene. So using this modifier is going to actually soften the light a lot by sending it everywhere. So you can see this is like a wide angle diffuser for the hard reflector that it comes with. Oh, look at that. The reflector is like faceted on the inside. Can you see that? That's really cool. That's going to increase the light power. It's going to concentrate it much more. It is so efficient. It is so tiny. I just cannot believe it. And this is the entire... Wow, this will fit inside the camera bag like so easily. And only two knobs on the side over here. really simple control. So we have one for the power of the unit, and we have another one for the temperature, it looks like. How simple is that? And there's no screen on it. You just turn it on and adjust the knobs as necessary. So there it's on. We have power, temperature, wow, that is really, really cool. Let's bounce that off the ceiling over here. See what that's gonna give me. Put this reflector on it. Let's turn it off first. I'm getting used to using this right now on camera, so forgive me. Okay, that's a really solid connection over there. It's not a traditional bayonet mount where you just stick it on and rotate it. You have to like release it because it's got like a little lock over there. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it sticks on like that. So let's turn it on again now that we've directed the light. Okay, let's turn it. It is on. Okay. Oh, that's powered down. Okay. Press and hold, just like a DJI drone, actually. And then we have the power control. So the power control goes from from 0 to straight to just under 20, and then you can step it up. So let's turn the lights to daylight, to where my lights are at the moment, and we'll be able to see just how much kick we can get from this. So this little light is actually kicking out more than my main light right now, and that's quite a bit. My main light, for all of you know, is only 60 watt lights, and this is 100. So this is going to be a little bit stronger. That's really cool. So a simple design, 2 knobs, 2 dials, and you can adjust the color temperature on the one side and the power on the other. Turning it off, turning it on, and then also with the power button on the left hand side over there. Wow. And so far, just on a couple of seconds here, the fan hasn't immediately turned on. There's no screen on it, a very simple unit. The battery is attached to the light itself. It's not removable. Here on the bottom we've got a charging port on the bottom over here. Oh, interesting. So you have a DC 24 volt input right over there, and then you have a USB-C input over there. Presumably you can actually plug a battery bank, like a power bank, into that. That would significantly increase run times on site. That would be a very interesting application. I'm intrigued. Next, I'm going to be unboxing the adapter that they sent me. Now, the adapter is to adapt their mount, which is the ZY mount, the Zhiyun mount, to a Bowens mount. So they have like a little mini adapter on the front of their light to keep it nice and small and compact. And this adapts it to full-size Bowens accessories. So let's open this one up as well for the first time on camera. See what that's all about. Instructions can be very obvious to use. You wouldn't need to use instructions. Same kind of packaging on the inside. Well, that's nice and solid. Very well made. It is plastic, so it's high impact plastic, and it's a special design by Zhiyun. Wow, it's got the same. That's interesting. So I didn't expect that. So this has the same faceted design that you see on the inside of the reflector that attaches to the units. They've even thought of that. They've continued that design through the adapters. So normally when you put an adapter on something, on other lights that I've seen, what happens is you generally attach it to the bare light, and then the modifier that you're attaching to the front of it actually has the light shaping ability, the characteristics. It will define the characteristics of the light that is coming out of the light. This takes it one step further, and it gives the light the best chance of actually outputting the highest power into that modifier. So this is actually one step further. It's a very interesting design. It's an integrated straight reflector that repeats the reflector that you're taking off of it, and then you attach your softener, your light softener, your softbox, your umbrella softbox, or whatever you want to attach to the front of this. And you can attach an umbrella softbox because it's got this through hole over here that you can tighten down onto an umbrella shaft. I also like the fact that it's slightly offset, that it's not too close to the front over here, and the whole design is really, really good. That is fantastic. So this attaches to the front of the light, and then you can adjust the angle of it just by releasing this over here, and it is ratcheted, so I can feel there is some resistance there, so it will bite down. Once you secure it, it's going to bite down because there's like a little toothed cam mechanism on the inside over there that's going to provide resistance beyond just the pressure of this control lock over here. And then of course you have the lockdown onto the actual light stand at the bottom over here. I will definitely be using this. This is going to be a very, very efficient adapter, the most efficient adapter that I've seen yet. And it is so small and light. It's light where it needs to be and strong where it needs to be. So on the inside over here, that's metal obviously, because that's where all the heat is located in the unit. And then on the outside we'll probably have heat resistant plastic. So here we have the unit back again. I was just charging it for a little bit over there. And here we have the adapter that I just unboxed, and just clips on to the front of the light. There we go. Nice and solid little click over there. And then you have the whole light attached just like that. Nice and compact, and the same form factor. You see that it extends the same distance away because of that integrated reflector design. So it's almost like they have a reflector and they've molded on like a Bowens mount onto the front of that. You can see here is where the adapter attaches to the light itself. So it attaches to the light, and then this is where the release for the modifiers would be that you put onto the front of this little unit. So I'll turn it around so you can see the other side. And here you can see that little release lever over there. This is what it looks like mounted. Even gives you a little handle to hold the unit in a different way if you really want to mount this and hold it like that. You can hold it with two hands if you have something attached to the front of it, but ideally it's meant to be mounted onto a light stand via this little unit at the bottom over here. So you can see this is the battery. This is where most of the weight of the unit is going to be. It's going to be on the right hand side over here of the unit. That's very interesting. So here we have the unit back again. I was just charging it for a little bit over there. And here we have the adapter that I just unboxed, and just clips on to the front of the light. There we go. Nice and solid little click over there. And then you have the whole light attached just like that. Nice and compact, and the same form factor. You see that it extends the same distance away because of that integrated reflector design. So it's almost like they have a reflector and they've molded on like a Bowens mount onto the front of that. And you can see here is where the adapter attaches to the light itself. So it attaches to the light, and then this is where the release for the modifiers would be that you put onto the front of this little unit. So I'll turn it around so you can see the other side. And here you can see that little release lever over there. This is what it looks like mounted. Even gives you a little handle to hold the unit in a different way if you really want to mount mount this and hold it like that. You can hold it with 2 hands if you have something attached to the front of it, but ideally it's meant to be mounted onto a light stand via this little unit at the bottom over here. So you can see this is the battery. This is where most of the weight of the unit is going to be. It's going to be on the right hand side over here of the unit. That's very interesting. First up, let's talk about the compact design. At 710 grams, including the battery, the CX100 is the lightest little LED that I've ever reviewed. It's small enough to fit in your hand or in a camera bag, making it perfect for run-and-gun videography or travel shoots or interviews. Here you can see the integrated cooling fan and heatsink of the light. Zhiyun calls this the Dynavort cooling system. You can see the large fan at the back over here, which keeps it light and cool, even during long sessions. You can see the large open fan design here that pulls air in from behind and through the unit. Right? I can honestly say that I couldn't even hear the fan at first. I had to check if it was running. It was that quiet. I had to actually stand and look, and when it's on, you can't see the fan blades turning, and you can see this grid system here and the heatsink, and you can't tell whether it's running or not. But when it stops, you see, oh, that was actually running the whole time. I actually stuck my ear up to it and listened, and I could hardly hear it. It's so quiet. You definitely wouldn't hear this on camera. It is super quiet, right? You get 2 mounting ports on the bottom over here for any kind of direct mounting to a light stand or to a tripod, and you also get the Bowens mounts on the front, for the ZY adapter. But for more complex lighting setups, you'd have to use their adapter, like I showed you. The main difference between this unit and the Molus X100 is that the battery is built into this unit. And there's no settings display screen, but this unit is so simple to operate that it's not needed. 2 labeled control dials are so easy and intuitive to operate. Next, let's talk about the power of this unit. This little unit packs a serious punch with 100 watts of power output and up to 3,840 lux. If you add the reflector, you're hitting about 76,400 lux at 3.3 feet, which is about 1 meter away from the subject. The bicolor range from 2700 to 6500 Kelvin lets you dial in warm or cool lights to match any background or light source. The CRI, I believe, is 96 and the TLCI is 97, making sure colors pop accurately, whether you're shooting a product or in a cinematic sense. Plus, it's fully dimmable with total control. Versatility is where the CX100 shines, in my opinion, because it works with the Z mount accessories, the ZY mount accessories, like the included diffuser, or an optional Bowens mount for pro level setups. That would be this one that I showed you earlier. Also, power options are a dream because of the built-in 4500 milliamp battery, as well as giving you 30 minutes of power. You can also use it in combination with a power bank or a DC adapter for long shoots. The dual dial controls make tweaking brightness and color temperature a breeze. Whether you're vlogging, streaming, or shooting cinematic shorts, this light will adapt to it all. I'd like to take this little light out and test it in real world scenarios. So why don't you follow me and let's go test it out. So I'm here on location with the CX100 light. I'm going to take it through its paces at a real estate shoot and also do a little bit of an interview light on location. So let's go inside and see what this little thing can do. So here I am on location in someone's home, a dark and dingy basement, and I have to photograph this workout room, a little dark workout room with a window at the back over there. I'll show you what this looks like. You can see most of the light is coming from behind over here. You can see it's coming from that window, and I'm mostly backlit, but by using this little light, I'm hoping I can reverse some of that light and actually get a better exposure. So let me show you what this looks like before we actually introduce the light. And now let's pop this light in the corner of the room. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it on, and I'm going to bounce it off the corner of the room over here. A lot shorter shutter exposure there because of the introduction of this light. And what we're going to see between these two photos is we're going to see improved color and contrast. Like let me go through the differences for you. So we look at the first photo, you can see completely blown out windows and lack of detail in the shadow areas because of the lack of light in the room. And then when we actually pop the light on in the corner, we can see that all the shadows are filled in, and we can see views through the window, and there's improved color across the range. So what I do is I try and soften the light by bouncing this off the ceiling, and what this lets me do is it lets me match the color of the lights to any color in the room. So when I turn it on, this is just set on daylight setting over here, but you can see if I turn the color, I can actually warm that up quite a bit or run it all the way cool on daylight setting. So you can really dial in the color to any position that you want to with this light, and you can get a real-time preview of exactly what you're going to get. That's what I like about these constant lights, is continuous lighting versus flash. You can actually see your preview in real time, and you can actually mold the lights to the way you want it before you take the photo. So you can actually check for reflections of objects, and you can move the lights accordingly, and you can save time by using this kind of technique. And this light makes it so easy. Look how small it is. It's just so tiny. I mean, I just throw that in my camera bag or strap it to my side with a camera strap with one of the mounting points, and away we go. What's not to like about that? It's fantastic. So here we have the Zhiyun CX100 in an interview style application. So I've got the light off to my left hand side here with a lantern softbox attached to it. In fact, it's the same softbox I use in the studio. And you can see this lovely soft lights hitting my face. I've turned the light power down to 20%, and I've adjusted the color so that it matches the practical lights behind me here. And that's giving me a beautiful soft cinematic interview style lights. Certainly you could do this in an office building with employees, moving it from office to office and doing impromptu interviews very, very easily. I mean, that's so versatile and simple. I mean, that makes my life so easy. I mean, who wouldn't like that? If you didn't have a softbox like this, what else could you do with this light? Let me show you. So I'm gonna take the modifier off this light. And I'm going to bounce it. Off the wall behind here. And the wall is just a white wall in the background here. And I'm going to turn the light power up a little bit because the wall is further away. But we can see now, just bouncing the light off the wall, just the bare light against the wall, no modifier, you're getting an equally soft light that's just filling up the side of my face. And certainly this is very usable in any interview kind of situation. Let's go back to the studio and discuss this little light further. I really love this little light. It's amazing.
For me, this light has been a game changer for working quickly. Using the two dials to adjust brightness and color temperature feels seamless, and I don't even miss a display. Turning it on is a bit quirky, as I have to first tap and then hold, which was confusing to remember at first, and I've seen others mention this online. But I can see now that it prevents accidentally powering on the light in a camera bag, for example, and that's a nice safety feature to have, don't you think? This little light feels very well built in the hand, and overall it's reliable and delivers pro-level lighting in a tiny package. I mean, look at the size of that thing. So let's go through the pros and cons of this light as a summary. It's insanely portable, it punches way above its weight with 100 watts of power output, and the bicolor range is perfect for any scenario. The CRI and TLCI scores ensure great color reproduction, and at around $179 to $200, it's quite affordable. Already, it includes a battery, while most other lights don't. Some cons are that you have to press and hold the power button to turn on the light, and that 30 minutes of battery at full power might not cut it for long shoots, although using it at 50% power would achieve much longer run times, or just keep a power bank handy. To give you a real-world example, I'm currently using a 60-watt main light here at 20% output. For the price though, this is a fantastic value for creators on a budget. The Zhiyun Cinepeer CX100 is a compact powerhouse that delivers pro-level lighting for vloggers, filmmakers, and photographers. It's portable, versatile, and budget-friendly, and I seriously think I'm in love with this little light. If you're after a light that can keep up with your creative hustle, this might be it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, hit the subscribe button for more gear reviews, and check out the link below to get your CX100. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.